Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today I'm here to do another bike review, and I'm back to a Super Duke again. How many times can one man review the Super Duke? Well, this is of course the 1390 Super Duke. It's a bike I absolutely love, and I'm awfully tempted to actually buy one. So I've borrowed this again for the last 2 weeks. I've been blatting around on this. You know, I've recently ridden the new Ducati Street Fighter V4S and all of the other Super Nakeds I've ridden in the past. I'm back again to try the Super Duke because, well, we'll get into the video in a minute, but for me, I think this is my dream motorcycle. And obviously KTM at the moment, there's all sorts of issues. Well, some of those issues have thankfully been sorted. They've been bought out by Baja. I think they've paid off their 500 million debts, and they've also given them another 2 or 3 million to restart production and get moving again. But there's still quite a bit of uncertainty around KTM. But put all that to one side, what is the actual bike like to ride? And this is what I'm here today to tell you. So it's a beautiful afternoon. We've got sun, it's warm weather, and we've got a brilliant orange Super Duke. So if you're interested in the Super Duke and you want to know what I think to this bike, then this is the video for you. So set yourselves down, make yourself comfortable, and chop see. Roll the intro. So I absolutely love a Super Duke. Now, just if you haven't seen my videos before, as I said at the beginning, I've probably reviewed a Super Duke 4 or 5 times now. From the the 1290, the 30. I went to the launch of this, which was at Almeria in Spain on circuit, and I borrowed it again on the road. I've done group tests with the MT10 and the M1000R. I mean, I've done a lot of content on this bike. I used to own a Gen 1 Super Duke, so I've owned a Gen 1 Super Duke, which I did a lot of tuning to. I'll put a link to that series at the top. Did a lot of work to my Gen 1 Super Duke, which I in the end sold, which I do regret selling that bike, and that's probably one of the only bikes I ever regretted selling. But that Gen 1 Super Duke was a million miles away from this 1390. The original one never had... The original one was like an old-fashioned muscle car, so it had the engine, but the chassis was never quite up to the standards of the engine. But this day and age, when this 1390 is so refined, so amazing, you know, instant grunt, absolutely instant grunt with this bike. And with this one being a press machine, it's been fully unlocked with all the tech packs and everything, so I've got sort of customized electronics on here. Well, we'll go into all of that. What I want to sort of convey is how this bike feels and makes me feel. I mean, I love supermotos. So basically the Super Duke is like a great big dirty supermoto. That's sort of how it feels to ride a little bit. It's got an aggressive, quite an aggressive riding position. You know, plenty of room in the legs, but you're a little bit forward onto the bars to put a little bit of weight on the front of the bike. I'm 6'2", 20 stone, and what I love about the Super Duke is it's really well suited for taller riders. You've got loads of room in the seat, you can move around, it's got a reasonable leg position. You know, my legs. The thing with the Super Duke is it's not a converted sports bike, which things like the M1000R are obviously converted from the S1000RR. The Tuono is a converted RSV4. The Super Duke, the MT10 is a converted R1. The Super Duke was designed to be a naked motorcycle. It was never an adapted sports bike. And that for me is one of the reasons why the ergonomics are so good. You've got decent feet position, you've got a lovely little space to the bars, massively wide bars like a big motocross bike, well, like a big supermoto. Spinning up a bit there. Now this is the Super Duke R. This is not the Evo version. This is the base model, let's call it. The Evo I've borrowed before, but to be honest, I find the base version, the suspension is so good. You don't, in my view, you don't need the Evo. So So if I was to get one, I would get this exact bike, more or less. I love the orange. I love the fact that it's not got the lecky suspension. It makes things a little bit more reliable as well. There's something less to go wrong, isn't it? And yeah, I love. So what I love about the Super Duke R is the fact that it's like a lot of KTMs. KTMs make incredible riders' bikes. And what I mean by that is bikes which are just thoroughly exciting through and through. You know, you've got aggressive, sporty riding positions. You've got all the creature comforts as well, like cruise control, heated grips, all of that sort of stuff. But the things KTM do, I don't know if it's Jeremy McWilliams' involvement with the brand. I know he's gone now as part of the restructuring. But there's just something about a KTM, you can tell it's a KTM, because there's just some sort of involvement, the feedback, the feel, the way they tune everything is for people like me. People who have got a little bit of a hooligan nature to them, who just like bikes to perform and give you that feedback and be fun. I think KTM really, the KTM bikes are all about fun. I mean, I could not name you a KTM model which isn't fun, because that's the thing, is which is their priority. The bikes, or seems to be, the bikes have to be fun, and that's something you don't get with all brands. I mean, that's some brands that don't even make a fun bike, but I think all of the KTMs are built for fun. Yeah, I know they've had their issues. I know there's reliability issues out there which are quite well documented, and that puts a lot of people off buying them. The styling's also always a little bit out there, isn't it? And you know, the Super Duke car's always been a bit of a Marmite bike on the looks, but I just find them absolutely incredible. And it's for several things. It's that engagement I'm talking about, which you get with all KTMs. It's also the fact that the Super Duke seems to be built for a larger rider. So whenever I do a comparison with another Super Naked, I come back to the Super Duke, because the other ones just feel a bit cramped in comparison, and they're just a little bit bonkers. I mean, who would think to put a 1300cc twin in a road bike? I mean, it's just balmy, isn't it? It's just absolutely balmy. Get to a crest, bit of front, just twist the throttle, the front wheel comes up. There's no other bike out there which will do that quite like a Super Duke. They've actually set adjustable wheelie control, so it's 4 levels of wheelie control, from sort of low to very high. It's just all built for the inner hooligan, and that's why I love it. The fact that it's a hooligan, it's comfortable, it's incredibly powerful, it's easy to ride, it changes direction like you're on a razor blade. The brakes are phenomenal. There's not one thing about the riding position, style, performance of this bike that I don't like. It just ticks every box and then some more. I think it's just an absolutely sensational motorcycle. It handles like anything. I mean, I love the sort of over the front riding position and the feedback you get. It just gives supreme amounts of confidence. And you could, you know, it doesn't matter where you are in the rev range, you turn that throttle and the thing just accelerates up the road. It's phenomenal the way this thing puts the power down. It may not be a V4, but I'll tell you, there's more grunt here than what you get on a V4. Oh, it's sensational. It is sensational to throw around a set of twisties. There's not another bike out there, period, that'll bring a smile to your face quite like a Super Duke while you're riding it. Maybe not when it's sat in the dealer for 6 months waiting for parts. That's a different matter. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you should buy a KTM. You know, you need to weigh up the current climate. You need to think about whether you're willing to risk investing in a motorcycle. I mean, the dealer network has shrunk considerably over the last few years. I think my nearest KTM dealer is about 70 miles away. I've got nobody local anymore. You know, so that's a worry. And we all know, you know, KTMs, they can be a little bit finicky. They do like to go back to the dealer occasionally to just be looked at. You know, sometimes it's not unheard of, and everyone will go, oh yeah, the cam's eating themselves. Yeah, that was just on some specific models. That wasn't all of the bikes out there. You know, so don't listen to everything you hear online and read and, oh yeah, cams, KTM and cams. No, that was just I think that was just the earlier 890s and maybe some of the 790s. There's never been any reported issues with the 1290 or the 690. It's not all the models, yeah. Let's just put that clear. It is not all the models, but I get it. I mean, some people be absolutely not. I'm not risking any money with KTM as they are at the moment, and that's completely understandable. But if you love, I think for me this is my favourite Super Naked out of the bunch. Out of the bunch, this is my favourite Super Naked. You know, putting this up against £25,000 Street Fighters, you know, 25,000 pound M1000Rs, it delivers something which those other models haven't quite managed to capture. Just that raw essence of, if you could bottle this in a fragrance, what would it be called? Oh, I don't know. Ode the Hooligan. It's just something about it which none of those other bikes have. It's something unique to the Super Duke, that Super Duke-ness which those others lack, and oh, I love them. I'm talking shite here. I am really just talking shite, aren't I? So that's enough gushing about this bike. Let's just tell you a few of the things you can do and how I set this up. Now, this has got the full tech pack, this version, because it's a press bike. It's got everything enabled. So now I've gone into the performance mode, and in the performance mode you can customize everything how you want it. So I have my wheelie control set to very high, obviously. I have my throttle response on sport, and there's definitely, I've been riding around in street for a week and a half without really trying the sport model, because the street is absolutely perfect as well, but the sport just makes it that little bit sharper. It's just a little bit more eager to pick the front wheel up in sport mode. And you can also change things like your ABS mode. You can turn ABS off on the rear if you want to destroy your tyres even quicker. You know, this performance mode is absolutely necessary, I would say. So I think it's definitely worth trying to get the performance mode, because it means you can just customize everything and have it exactly how you want it, and I like that. All the switch gear works really well. There's little buttons down here to adjust your traction on the fly, and that also doubles up as your buttons to increase and reduce your speed when you've got the cruise control on. So it's all very well thought out. You've even got little buttons here just to set some favourites, so you can take you straight into the modes with just touching these buttons, or turn your heated grips on here, or you can customise those whatever you want. There's just little touches like that which I think work really well on the Super Duke. Let's get out of the way of this tractor. So I've really said everything there is to say about the Super Duke. You know, over the years, the reviews I've done, I love the 1290. As I said, then we went on the launch of the 1390, and it's just moved things on again. It's more refined. The engine is definitely more refined on the 1390. You've of course got the adjustable valve timing, so it makes a bit more power. It's a bit more grunty at the bottom because of that as well, maybe. But when I've taken the 1290 on track, it's always been incredibly grunty, but it lacked a little bit at the top. Not anymore with that adjustable valve timing. It's got plenty at the top as well as the bottom. I mean, this would make an absolutely incredible track naked. An incredible track naked. Quick shifter blipper. It can be a little bit lungy at times. I don't think it's particularly easy to get a massive V-twin to get a really smooth shift. I mean, that's it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Much better than previous versions. No, much better than previous versions, but it's not slick in all situations, but it's 90% of the situations it's pretty slick. And the other niggles, I can't really think of any other niggles. It'll even do 160 miles to a tank of fuel, even though they made the fuel tank smaller on the 1390. It'll still do 160 miles to a tank if you're in it a little bit sensible. Only not even that, it's sensible on occasion, not just so throttle open all the time. But the vibrations is so refined for a 1350cc V-twin, you would imagine you're going to get your teeth shaken out. Absolutely not. It doesn't even really feel like a V-twin. It's so refined now that you don't even get any sort of harshness through the handlebars, no buzziness. You know, I can just feel a little bit of vibes through the seat on the bike. Hardly anything. Hardly anything. It's truly incredible what they've managed to achieve. And compared to that RC8 I was riding a couple of weeks ago, it's a million miles away from that. A million miles away from that. It feels twice as grunty as the RC8 did, and it's got a quarter of the vibrations. You know, it's really quite amazing. The feeling and feedback you get through the road, I'd say is the perfect amount of feedback without it being too harsh. It's just, it feels a bit like the Street Fighter is also amazing, the feel you get through the suspension. But as I say, the Street Fighter will cost you £10,000. You know, these are incredible value at the moment. We're all going a bit hot, not to worry, we could just whack it on its side while you're braking quite hard. Chuck it back the other way. Yeah, need to change direction mid-corner. It's not a problem. Whoa! Oh, it's sensational. The brake feel as you push into a corner when you're trail braking in. You can just feel everything that's going on. You can feel exactly how much grip you've got from that front tyre. It is sensational. I know we all go on about, oh, you don't need more than 100 horsepower. Anything more than 100 horsepower is just ridiculous. And it is, but you can't help but feel like the king of the road when you're riding a Super Duke. You can't help but feel above everybody else that you've got all of this power underneath of you to be unleashed at the most minute turn of the throttle. There's something unbelievably empowering about that. Just knowing you've got it, even if you're not flaunting it, just knowing you've got it, there's something a little bit special about that. And normally I would say, you know, a lower capacity bike is more fun than these bigger ones, because the power is so instantaneous on this. This is fun. This is as fun as the smaller capacity bikes, because of the way it makes its power. Also, because of the wacky headlight and the mad styling. I've never had cars move out of the way quicker on the motorway than what they do when they see this coming up in their rearview mirror. There's something about the front of this that just makes the drivers move out of the way in the fast lane. They just get out your way. It's like the parting of the Red Sea when they see this coming up behind them. I don't know why, it's just because I guess it's the styling and the way it looks. They're just like, blimey, what on earth is that behind me? I better shift it. It looks angry, it looks mean. And they're absolutely right. But it's also a pussycat if you want it to be. There never was more of a Jekyll and Hyde bike, I don't think. Both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are beautifully mannered. But either, well, Mr. Jekyll will rip your head off. Mr. Hyde will get you home nice and safe and sound. And with your cruise control and your heated grips, you'll be in perfect comfort as well. I've got to say a bit of a shout out to superbike.co.uk. It's a new sponsor on the channel. You've probably seen the logos for the last couple of videos. They've joined me for a bit of sponsorship. Remember the old, well, I'm not saying the old, but the Superbike magazine? Well, that superbike.co.uk is the Superbike magazine, but it's now an online form. So yeah, if you've wondered what that superbike.co.uk is, it's flashing up. It's a new channel sponsor, so go and have a look at them. They've got some really good content, articles. I say it's Superbike mag, but online, and it's free. So go and have a check that out and have a look. But yeah, massive thanks to Superbike for coming on board as a channel sponsor. So yeah, show them some love, guys, because I say it's free. There's all the content on there, bike reviews, all the news. Yeah, it's superb. So it still exists, so don't think it's gone, but it's just online. So yeah, go check them out. Links in the description of the video, take you straight to them. So there we are. I've absolutely been bigging up this bike, haven't I? I'm blown away by this. I was hoping I'd borrow this again and be like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's not. It's sensational. It's sensational. So if you're on the fence about whether to get it. I know a few people are. Whenever I post a picture, people are like, oh, I'm thinking about it, but what do you think? Is it safe? Are we going to be wasting our money? I can't help you there. I know no more than what is out there in the public domain, you know. All we know is Baja have invested £800 million in the company. They're obviously pretty serious about this brand and not losing it. They've invested £800 million. So that goes to show you the commitment's there to keep this brand running. Hallelujah. So is that enough to make the naysayers, or if you're on the fence, to invest your money in a bike? You can get a bargain. 15 grand for this bike is a bargain when you look at the competition and what this can do. Yeah, you may have to see if you can get the tech pack thrown in, see if you can negotiate that into the deal, because you do really need that. But it's a sensational bike, and watch this space. There could be a change up in the garage coming soon, and if you want yourself a low mileage Honda Hornet, then let me know. Send me an email. There's an email link on my channel page. But there we are. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.
Worship every